expect it. Nobody plans to be crazy. It just happens. Crazy just sneaks up on you. Look at Will Smith. He didn't plan that. That just happened. He didn't fucking plan that. Keep my white name out your mouth. If I'm crazy or why I'm not as crazy as I feel like I should be. Because I've been through a lot of shit. On paper, I should be fucking crazy.
Kevin Hart once again has found himself in a row due to his attitude of always roasting people in Hollywood. But this time it's even more serious, as he chose to humiliate Will Smith during his stand-up comedy show, and Will Smith has supposedly decided to confront him. So buckle up, because we're going to spill the tea on some heavy things.
We're human, and as humans sometimes we make mistakes. So it's not about talking about the past.
We all know that Kevin is a popular comedian, but apparently this popularity is not proving to be a good sign for him. The reason? Because always making jokes about your seniors never do good to you, and this is what Kevin always does. But recently, he made a joke about one of the living legendary figures, Will Smith, and Smith does not like being presented as a fool. As a result, he allegedly confronted Kevin for humiliating him among thousands of people.
Age that had been bottled for a really long time, but at the end of the day, I lost it.
According to some insiders and sources, Kevin made fun of and joked about Smith because of his personal grudges against him. The whole world is aware of that Oscars 2022 incident, but what everyone is wondering about now is, did Chris Rock use his comedian friends to get his revenge? Apparently, Kelvin probably humiliated Smith to get revenge for his friend Chris. I mean, they had no beef before, and now he's got no chills because he slapped his friend Chris. So it was all because actually he wanted to confront Will about his behavior with Chris on international TV, which was surely embarrassing for Chris. If there was any doubt before, the fact that Chris Rock is also very grateful to Kevin for saving his career and being a full support system throughout this whole situation further supports this. This clears up at least one thing. Will Smith was made prey deliberately by both Kevin and Chris Rock just to teach him a lesson. Will was called crazy and also mimicked and whatnot during Kevin's session. This was something really on another level. But fans of Kevin and Chris have also got no chills admiring Kevin's act. One of them wrote, "Damn, I was rolled over sleeping and was going to ride out listening to this. Now I'm cracking up, about to go watch the whole thing." And another one added, "I haven't seen the special, but that joke is relatively tame compared to a lot that's been joked about. I think it's time to give it a break now." Chris obviously has. It's old, but unfortunately Will never live that down. Fans vigorously admiring Kevin also means that Will was bashed on a whole new level, as some of them thought that Will deserved this. But you know why Will slapped Chris? Because he was making jokes on his wife Jada on international TV. This was something Will couldn't stand and directly slapped Chris.
Praying that Will Smith wins, like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it, all right?
This was the joke he made about Jada. And after this, Will just left his chair and slapped Chris during his hosting. This is what happened that night.
Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Well, a mere slap wasn't enough for Smith to refrain Chris. After this, he started yelling out at Chris to not mention Jada, his wife, anymore. Now here, Will really went overboard. Slapping was not the right choice to make on such a historic night. But he did it, and this made Kevin and Chris give back what they did. That's also why Will was extremely bashed by the public. One of the fans wrote, "You can tell by Chris's expression at the end of the video that he wasn't all right after the slap. He was being humiliated in front of thousands, millions of people, but he kept his cool and was professional. I have huge respect for him." And another person said, "Will Smith literally just immortalized a joke that everyone would have forgotten 20 seconds after it was said. It was this extreme criticism and bashing that led Will to make a public apology. He took to social media to apologize to Chris. Even when his reason for slapping was valid, Will was still wrong in the end, but his apology could not move Chris enough."
I apologize to you. My behavior was unacceptable.
Will said that he had reached out to the comedian, but he was not yet ready to meet him and sort out the issue. Chris was supposed to meet him when he wanted to or when he felt that the issue could be resolved. However, Chris seemed to not accept his apology, and this is what he said during an interview when asked about the incident. "Anyone who says words hurt has never been punched in the face," Rock reportedly jokes, adding that he wasn't a victim and shook it off. "I don't go to the hospital for a paper cut." But apparently, Chris never met Will after the apology, which he was supposed to do, according to Will. And possibly there could be only one person behind this rage, and that person is Kevin Hart. He has been so close to Chris that he can do anything that Kevin can possibly say. And let's not forget that Kevin even once bribed people to stay in line for Chris's show. So it is quite possible that this revenge scheme against Will was planned by Kevin and Chris together. Chris once even supported Kevin, publicly mentioning his own incident, saying, "Me and my family know what you're going through, survived the eye of Andrew and became stronger, so will you." But Kevin is a person who has shown that he can do bad to his friends that helped his job and career, like he did with Chris Rock. Being best friends with Kevin has not spared Chris from Kevin's jokes and roasting on live TV. So far, it's not only Chris, since Dave Chappelle has also been on Kevin's radar. During a show, Kevin apparently gifted Chris Rock a goat and named it Dave. Just look at it here.
I bought you the fucking goat. I'm not joking. I really bought the fucking goat.
I have an apartment, Kevin.
That's not my problem.
They barely let niggas in there.
Dave, come here, Dave.
But this was not the only incident Kevin made fun of Chappelle. He has humiliated him so many times that during a show, he couldn't help himself but say, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." So it's safe to say every person who has been the victim of Kevin's jokes and roasting is quite disappointed in him, and so is Will Smith. However, for Will, Kevin is not the only one that's made fun of him. Will has been humiliated by many people in the past. For example, regarding this Oscar incident, Jim Carrey was another celebrity that also humiliated Will, claiming he was sickened by his actions.
I was sickened. I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse.
Initially, Jim was on hand for promoting his movie, but as that incident was fresh, he clearly told how he felt about Will's action during Oscar night 2022.
You do not have the right to walk up on stage and smack somebody in the face because they said words.
Not only this, he even said that Will should have been arrested, but Chris apparently did not seek any charges on Will Smith after the incident. It is hard not to see Jim's point in this clip, even if suing for $200 million might be slightly excessive.
Warning that I was suing Will for $200 million.
According to Jim, it is okay to yell from the audience if you don't approve of the joke, but you do not have any right to leave your seat and give them a blow right in their face. During the show, the host said that the situation escalated, but he disagreed, saying, "It didn't escalate, it came out of nowhere because Will has something going on inside him that's frustrating. And I wish him the best. I really do. I don't have anything against Will Smith. He's done great things, but that was not a good moment. It cast a pall over everybody's shining moment last night. A lot of people worked really hard to get to that place and to have their moment in the sun and to get their award for really hard work they did. And it is no mean feat to go through all the stuff you have to go through when you're nominated for an Oscar. It's a gauntlet of devotion that you have to do. It was just a selfish moment that cast a pall over the whole thing." Jim even came to know about Will's apology, but remained silent. Afterward, he reaffirmed the difficulty of being nominated for an Oscar. He even said that the whole night's sparkle and shine were dimmed by Will's action. He said, "I see it as a larger issue and as an issue of the boundaries being broken, boundaries and allowances and permissiveness to certain behaviors. The fact is that license is being given to people to act out violently when they don't like what they hear," Carrey said, "and it just shouldn't be. But at the end of the day, it is Kevin who extremely humiliated Will and did not even try to apologize." That's it for today, folks. Until next time, goodbye.